Bats and Ghouls, welcome back to the channel. I know I have been absent for what, 3-4 weeks now, and I'm sorry about that, but I've been working on kind of a big project, and I'm starting on the second one in this little project series that I'm doing that I haven't been showing you because the first one was a bit more personal. So this one is a bit more fun, and I figured I would show you. I'm just getting started with it, so, and these are like the main theme that it's centered around, so I figured it'd be a good starting video. What we are doing is, they're called junk journals, but the way I'm doing it, I think it's more referred to as an art journal. So we're going to use the term art journal for this series, because a junk journal is literally you just kind of take bits and pieces of what you have lying around and then you use, whereas this one I've actually gone through the effort to make it into a theme, to print out stuff, to buy specific paper, to do a whole bunch of stuff that makes it more of the art journal than the junk journal. So what we were doing is, I needed a new journal just for my personal use, and I stumbled across this. I think I was on YouTube and it was in one of my recommended videos, and I want to say the lady's channel is Gypsy Rose. I'll link her down below if you want to go check her out. She was the one that kind of set me off on my journey here. So what I'm doing is, I got the idea to do a French vampire, but I wanted her to be like a seamstress kind of thing, so that is the theme of my journal. So that is what everything is pretty much based around, and it's going to be lots of golds and reds and blacks. So what I'm thinking to get me started is, this is my lady. This is one picture that I found that I'm not sure. I think she's like she's a gothic model or something. I found this image on Google and I just love the way she looks. So by the way, do not recopy and sell things. This is for my personal use, so that's perfectly fine. And if y'all know who this is, then credit her down below, because I would love for her to get credit for her inspiring me to do this. But if you can't really tell, her dress is red too, so that's another reason she fit in perfectly with my theme. So she is the main feature of this whole journal. And then I decided to make it cute and have like, she's been through centuries. Obviously she's a vampire, but each person is like one of her old lovers, so she kept like little memorabilia and stuff from it. So there's going to be pockets in the journal that's going to have each of these pictures in it, and then I have like a little printed off kind of old antique letter that we're going to be putting in these as well, and they're going to be like journaling pages. But I've already cut these out, but I figured I was going to show you how I did the Plague Doctor one. And this, pay attention, if you're going to watch this series with me, pay attention to this Plague Doctor, because it will play a part in another project we're going to be doing later on. But this is going to take a minute to finish, because my last one took me about 2-3 weeks to get done, which is kind of why I've been gone. It took me a minute to get done, and I'm still waiting on some paper for this one. So we're going to go ahead, and what I'm going to do is, each one of these is cut to size already for their individual, these are called cabinet frames. So they're each cut to size for their cabinet frames, but then I'm going to back them, because I do want to be able to kind of put like little notes and things on the back of these, because they will technically be journaling cards, but you know, they're also part of the theme picture. But we're going to work on this guy. So let me move these. Oh, and if I don't know who these characters are, these two are from Interview with the Vampire. Obviously that's Louis, and then I can't ever remember the vampire that Antonio Banderas plays, but that's his character from Interview with the Vampire. And then obviously got Angel. Had to have Angel. That was like my first introductory thing, because Buffy, and then I started binge watching Angel. So yeah, that's my whole spiel. But anyways, let's get on to the project. Okay, move him. So we're going to do the Plague Doctor, and I just want to make sure that I just kind of wanted to show you first, and then we'll move in. And I'm sorry if my lighting changes. I'm actually using natural light instead of my big light, because it's morning, so I can finally record in the morning now. And I would prefer to use the natural light. So we're going to kind of figure out where exactly in the frame we want him, and how much of him we want to display, or if we just want, I kind of like it where you can see, the staff too a little bit there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, since I know where I want him in my frame, I'm going to take a white color pencil, and this is the brand if you want to know. I picked it up at Michael's, but yeah, I got it from Michael's because I was running out of my regular color pencils from everything that we did at Christmas, so I needed to get some more. But we're just going to mark on the side the part that I need to kind of trim off, and then we're going to trim off a bit more than that once I kind of know exactly how big I need it. But get as close to the edge as you can, and let's mark that off. And I chose, by the way, I chose to print these in grayscale, and I also chose to print them on some kind of manila looking cardstock. So this is cardstock. I just picked it up from Walmart. But I purposely chose to print everything in kind of a black and white or grayscale kind of thing, just because I thought that would add to the overall effect. Okay. So now, make sure I get the top, because this is the top. So, and by the way, if you see any of these, try and pick these up, because what I've been told is they're kind of hard to come by. I've been finding them at Hobby Lobby, and I know Amazon has them. So if you are interested in doing something with cabinet cards, I would recommend picking them up rather quick. The hot commodity. Okay, so we're pretty good on that aspect. Make sure I got him centered where I need him. And originally I was going to make these where they could slide in and out, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't ever foresee me taking these out. So what I'm going to do is, once I get the pictures glued into place, we're going to cut down the black cardstock, and then we're going to glue those two. But I want to get these glued first. And I know I'm probably doing that the wrong way, but you know what? That's the way I want to do it. So here we go. Slide him over a bit more, almost all the way to the edge. Yeah. Okay. And then like I said in my previous videos, I like to use the 527 glue. For me, it seems to work better, and it doesn't get nearly as messy and dry as the E6000 glue. Whoop. Definitely tell this is a new glue. It's just kind of coming out everywhere. And excuse my grubby nails, but it's time for me to change them again. And I just haven't got around to it. Okay. And yes, I just used more than I needed, but I had a lot more glue coming out than I had anticipated. This is a whole new tube, so you know when you get a new tube of glue, it doesn't do what you want it to do to start off with. So we're gonna take him all the way to the edge on this side. Plus, I like the 527 glue because even though you put it down and in place, you can still kind of play with it. Where I found, for me at least, working with the E6000 glue, I couldn't really, once I put it down, it was kind of there, and I couldn't really play with it. You know what? And for the most part, I will try and leave links and stuff, or leave at least a item description of what I used down below for this project. It might be hard for some of the stuff, but for the most part, I will try and at least any link that I can leave you, I will. Because I was watching some lady, she did like a Halloween one, and she left like 0 links, and some of the stuff I would really like to, you know, I would like to know where she got it from, because it was cute, and especially when she said it was free too. I'm like, why didn't you leave us the link so we could see it? But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try my best to leave y'all links for everything. So let's just go ahead and get the rest of these. Okay, and once that's done, this is another thing of cardstock. I did get this from Walmart. It comes in a small pack. It's about $4 for the pack. So, and with her, I'm actually going to glue her. I'm not going to glue her into her frame because this is her backing that she's going to be in. This is actually the main backing for the, it needs a lip brush bad, but this is the main backing that I'm going to use like in the inside cover of the book, and she is actually going to be attached to this. So I want to glue her down, and then I'm going to glue the frame down on top of it is the plan for that. So she's actually not going to be glued down right now. I know I could, but I'm choosing not to. Again, my book. I'm doing it the way that I want to do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and trace each of these while this glue is drying. Okay, so now that I've got each of the backings marked out, or, you know, kind of cut out, we're going to put these on their respected frames as soon as I find which one goes with which for these two, because they're about the same size. I want to say this one goes with Louis. And if I need to, I can take my X-Acto knife and kind of trim up. No? This one goes with Louis. Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it figured out. Those two were the only ones I knew I was going to have problems with. So what I'm going to do is the side that has the actual white markings on it, I should have used chalk and then you could just brush it off. But, you know, I don't know where my chalk is for the projects like this. So now we're just going to take this and we're just going to glue the backing down. Nice generous amount of glue. And I've seen some people use a glue stick for this, but I guess I just don't have the same kind of glue stick because mine just would not stick good. So I'm just going to use the glue that I know that works. Okay, let's put line everything up and stick them down. And if I don't use the correct terms throughout this series for anybody that is familiar with art and junk journals, it's because I'm still learning. I'm still learning everything there is to know about this new art that I have discovered. So that is why I think all these, I want to say all of the stuff that I'm currently making to get us started is called ephemera. So, you know, that if that's the correct term, let me know down below. But if not, then these are just going to be our little cabinet card pictures. That's what they are. Okay, so next let's do Louis. See, and I hate that a lot of the vampires I actually like, 'cause I do read a good bit of vampire series, obviously, but I don't like Twilight. I know people are going to come for me in the comments for that, but I'm not a big fan of Twilight. The storyline just wasn't there for me. I prefer J.R. Ward's storylines or Christina Feehan's storylines for her series. That's the kind of vampires I like. Those are the kinds that I prefer to read, and unfortunately, they don't really make pictures and stuff for them unless you want to count fan art, and I wanted real like images. I didn't want, you know, I wanted them to look like pictures. I didn't want them to look like a drawing or something, even though that was common depending on what era I have her in, but still, that's not what I wanted. I wanted actual like images and stuff, and I wanted them to look all old and grainy. Which I know even for my interview with the vampire pictures, those aren't technically correct either for the time period. But you know, artistic liberties. We're gonna do artistic liberties with that one, just because I like those vampires. Those are about the closest one in cinema that I can say that I actually do enjoy. And I like True Blood, but I don't know. I prefer the werewolves in that series a bit more. Don't get me wrong, the vampires are nice, but if I'm gonna pick a vampire, I would much rather pick, God, what's her name now? I can't think of her name. She's the female vampire in True Blood that's Eric's sidekick. God, what is her name? I can't think of her name. Not Jessica. Because she's a badass. God, I can't think of her name. But anyways, if y'all seen True Blood, you know who I'm talking about. I just cannot for the life of me think of her name. But, yeah, so that's why I picked these vampires, if anybody wondering. I didn't do that one correct. Alrighty. Now all I have to do is wait for these to dry, and these pieces are done. So this is pretty much what the cards will look like, and this gives me, I don't mind a little bit of the overhang. If I do want to go back in and clean it up some, then I will. But I don't mind a little bit of that overhang. But what I'm planning on doing is that if I have something small or something simple, then I can just write that on the back of these cards. And because these are going to be journaling cards along with pretty pictures. But so that is our first little adventure into our vampire journal project. I hope y'all enjoy this series. I hope you follow along with it. It may not be in every video, or it may not be like every week that I post something for this, just because I know you get bored of it, but it will be a good portion of what's coming up here soon, because it's kind of the only art project I really got going on at the moment. Yeah, because there's cosplay season still up in the air, so we're working on this. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments if you have anything else that would be kind of cool to add. Let me know that as well, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.